Hey there, Rednecks, Preppies, Redneck Preppies. It's me, the Redneck Preppy. How you doing today? Great, good. If you follow me over on Facebook, you probably know that I recently bought a CZ457 Varmint MTR rifle and 22 long rifle. I love shooting rimfire, but I have to admit that all my previous 22 rifles have always been a little bit disappointing. So this summer I got it into my head that I was going to buy a higher end rifle and really get into the precision shooting side of that caliber. At any rate, I've had a bunch of questions from people since buying it about what parts I used and general inquiries about the rifle itself, so I figured I'd put together a quick tour of it in case they, or you, were interested in learning more. That out of the way, let's get into it. Now, I don't have a Thias's budget over on C & Arsenal, so I don't have a plastic pokey thing to point things out, but I do have a CB radio antenna, so that'll have to do. Starting off, the CZ457 MTR barreled action, and that is how I bought it, which was just basically the barrel, the receiver, and the trigger pack, and that's all I got. I don't know how much they cost, so I can't give you a price on that. The barrel length is 50.8 centimeters or 20 inches. It has a 1x28 threaded end, so you can put on your suppressors, your compensators, whatever it is that you like. And the MTR stands for Match Target Rifle, so it comes with a SAMI spec chamber. That means that the ammunition that you feed through this thing needs to conform exactly to SAMI specifications, or otherwise you might have difficulty, let's say, extracting empty cases. So keep that in mind. It's happened to me running cheap ammunition through this. I learned my lesson. Next up, the MTD LSS RF chassis, which retails for US $429 or Canadian $519. It's obviously in Cerakote black. It is T6061 aluminum. It's 17.75 inches in length, and it weighs about 1.5 pounds. It's available for a wide variety of rifles, including Remingtons, Savage, Tikka, Mossberg, obviously CZ, and others. So if you like this chassis, it meets your needs, you might be able to find it for your rifle. Rifle needs a buttstock, so I have the MTD SCS carbine stock, which retails for US $369 or Canadian $439. Again, T6061 T6 aircraft grade aluminum. It has an M-lock slot there at the bottom, which allows you to put on a bag rider, a monopod, whatever it may be, if it has an M-lock attachment. It has an adjustable length of pull. It has an up and down adjustable butt pad, which is very useful, and you can see that mine is set down a little bit. And it has an adjustable cheek rest, both in terms of height and forward back, which I find to be very useful. Next up, and I initially poo-pooed this when I was putting this build together, but in retrospect it was actually a good idea. An MTD folding stock adapter, which retails for $169 US or $199 Canadian. The reason why I like it, two reasons actually, is one, with this cheek riser, it's sometimes difficult to get a cleaning rod in there. But by actuating it with this button and moving it out of the way, I have clear access into the chamber. So that is actually pretty good. That's worth the price alone. But additionally, it also adds 1.75 inches for length of pull, which for someone like me of my size is really great. We have the MTD Premier Scope Rings, US $129 or Canadian $149, and as you will find out very soon, they are 34 millimeter scope rings. They are mounted on an MTD 20 MOA Picatinny Scope Base, which retails for US $169 or Canadian $179. It conforms to the Mill Standard 1913 and Stenag 4694 specs, so that's great. CNC machined from T6061 T6 grade aircraft grade aluminum. It's got a mil spec Type 2 hard anodized finish. It is, as the name suggests, an MOA, 20 MOA base, so it allows you to adjust the scope out to distances like, let's say, 200 yards. So fantastic. And although it's not really necessary for 22 long rifle, it does have an integrated recoil lug built in. So if you were to use this base on a heavier caliber rifle, that would probably come in very useful to you. All right, what's the point of having rings and a base if you don't have a scope? and I chose the Vortex Venom 5x25 by 56 millimeter scope. It's got a 34 millimeter tube, hence the rings. It's first focal plane scope. It's got an MRAD reticle in it, 3-inch sunshade, which actually comes with it, which is great. A lot of scope manufacturers make you buy this separate, but you get it for free. You also get a throw lever, which is fantastic. It comes with a rubber lens bra, but I actually opted to buy these flip caps, which I think are about $50 Canadian, give or take. I'm not sure. Its eye relief is about 3.6 inches, which is all right. Adjustable parallax over on this side, you can't see it, which is great for precision rimfire. It retails for US 700 or Canadian $949. Some people might consider 25x to be overkill for rimfire, particularly at 50 and 100 yards, but if you shoot precision, it's absolutely necessary. Next up, I'll just move the bolt out of the way, a Chimney Trigger. The stock trigger is okay on CZs and they are adjustable, but you can really only realistically get them down to about 2.5 pounds. So I opted for this. It's US 148 or Canadian 275. It's adjustable from 10 ounces to 2 pounds. I have it set right at 10 ounces. Fantastic, I love it. And I opted yes for the straight trigger. I don't know if you can see it from there, but I have the MTD CZ457 extended mag latch and spacer kit, which retails for US 60 or Canadian dollars 70. Not much to say about that. It gives you a longer mag release, which is really appreciated on this rifle. Not sure why rimfire rifle manufacturers put these really small mag latches. So this is like one of those things where really this is like a tax. You bought the rifle, you want to extend mag latch, well, we'll be happy to sell you one. Moving up forward, we've got ourselves the Bipod, and it's a Caldwell Bipod. Not sure how much they run for, $70 or $80 Canadian. I happen to have it in my parts bin, so I grabbed it. I have been looking to upgrade this, perhaps with an Arca rail on the chassis with an AccuTac Bipod. I've really fallen in love with those lately, and I've really been reading a lot about them, reviews and such. But I'm going to be honest with you, it's hard to justify spending the money when this works well enough. It's got enough height adjustment for me. It allows me to load the bipod a little bit when I'm shooting. If I were to replace this, it would just be because I want to spend some money. Next up, move the bolt back down. We have the Area 419 bolt knob. Again, made out of T6061 T6 aluminum, Type 3 hard anodized finish. Some people seem to like the stock bolt knob that comes on CZ457s, and it's like a little marble in size. I am part of the seeming majority that actually doesn't. However, CZ, in their beautiful wisdom, made the bolt knob on the 457 series of rifles very easy to remove and replace. So I replaced it with this one. I love the fact that I can manipulate this with just my pointer finger, so I don't even have to change positions behind the scope or really work my hand any more than is necessary. I can maintain ultimate consistency in my shooting stance, which is great. Next up, the MTD Vertical Grip Premier, which is about $60 US or $70 Canadian. I originally had a BCM Warfighter pistol grip on this rifle, but I didn't find it comfortable for precision shooting on a bench rest, so I opted to buy this one instead. You can adjust its position back and forth slightly, and I use the grip while shooting mostly just to have a consistent finger placement on my trigger, so that it helps to the extent that you can set it up while installing it. So the total weight of this rig is 5.3 kilograms or 11.8 pounds, and its total length as I have it set up is about 99 centimeters in length or about 39 inches. The total cost? Well, that's a little up in the air. All the prices I quoted today are retail, and I didn't spend quite as much as the price list would suggest. The Vortex Venom, for example, has an MSRP in Canada of $949. If you pay more than that, or if you pay that, you're mad, because these retail on the street all day, every day for $699. I love this rifle. It shoots like a tack driver, and even bad days with the CZ457 Varmint MTR are still better than any day I've ever had with the other rimfires I've owned in my life. Do I suggest this exact build for you if you're putting together a bench rest or competition rifle? No, because I'm pretty sure that I'm going to continue making changes to this rifle. At any rate, I hope you found today's video to be at least vaguely entertaining and somewhat informative. May all of your rimfire shooting be as enjoyable as mine. Take care, and bye-bye.